What up, YouTube? It's the Night Saint here back with another video, and this video is gonna be about how young black males today had like a secret death wish, or not, or some of them do, or not just like kids in the street, but just just regular kids. And of course, I'm gonna speak about my thoughts on it, and even just share my experience with me just peeping it. I think of course everybody knows, it's like young black males is like they either in the streets or they are they in the streets killing each other all day every day, and a lot of them don't really have a fear of dying, and like I said, they want to die and they don't really want to live their life, and it's kind of sad to see, because like I said, even with my experience, you see that a lot of young black males are just lost with their life, and even to me, to an certain extent, I am. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out my way and find my way. And it's very hard to do that when, of course, you don't have the blueprint to do so. So, of course, like, just me, I think I have some compassion for him, because, it's just, I understand that it's not easy. And like I said, in that time, sometimes they really just don't want to live because they suffer every day. And it's, like I said, it's very understandable. I think it's understandable because, of course, I'm not in the streets, but it's another end of that spectrum that I think a lot of people tend to overlook. And I'm gonna explain my experience with it. I think, but of course I'm just gonna explain like the baseline. I think that, of course, the baseline, a lot of young black males, they be in the streets, they should be doing a lot of things that they know is against their best. They don't know that it's against their best interest. Not that they don't know, they just don't care that it's against their best interest. They want to do what they want to do. They do what they do because, like I said, they think this is the right way. They do what they do because somebody has led them astray, and like I said, they deceive them into thinking that this negative type of lifestyle, this negative way of living is something that this is how young black males should be brought up and living, and it causes a lot of suffering. And I see it in my peers, people I went to school with, like people that just turn, like people just, like after high school happened, they just turned to becoming very ignorant, just very like in the streets, violent, like extremely violent, and just, it's depressing to see. And and it's sad that, like I said, it's a reflection to me that these is my peers, and that they went down this path of just negativity. It's just not good to see. It's quite heartbreaking. But a lot of them don't have a fear of dying. They have a fear of living, and it's because they just don't want to suffer no more. Like I said, they live in a world where people is always constantly telling them, like I said, they wrong, and their daddy wasn't there. They don't live with a father. Their father not guide them the right way, or not guide them like they're supposed to be. Like I said, nobody's telling them that it's okay to make mistakes. They tell them it's okay to be so, not to want to be like everybody else. They tell them it's not okay to be themselves. They always feel like there's a need to prove something. Of course, as just teenagers and little kids, you want to be accepted by your friends and by everybody, but there's nobody like tap them on the shoulder like, hey, you don't need to be doing this. Like, it's okay to not do this. And people just have a lack of care and protection for their young black boys. And of course, it may be happening in other races, but I can only speak for my own people, is that a lot of them don't, a lot of them don't care, and a lot of them, they don't care just because of hatred, because they own father, fatherly figure walked out on them and just treat them like they was nothing. They think that they worthless, so they go and crash up like they are worthless, and that's sad to see. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, especially on no young black male that has to one day become a young black man. I know it's hard trying to become something that you have no blueprint for. Even with me, it's something that I had to face as of recently, that I had to start understanding that. Like I even got that type of idea. I secretly want to die, and it's not like I'm conscious. Like I really want to die. Is that I think that I'm on my right path. I think it's the path I'm supposed to be living. I strive to be good. I try to be the best that I can. And I strive for positive, and just to keep peace around my people. I want to help my people at the end. And of course, I think that's a programming thing with just movies and stuff like that. They always show that the people that don't deserve it and the people that want to help you, they don't it don't end well for them. Like I said, and it make you never want to help people. It make you not want to help people because, like I said, the people that you volunteer yourself for will always use you and take advantage of you. And like I said, they'll just throw you away and then just go about the rest of their business. And I think that's what I aspire to be in my head. It's like I wasn't raised with good fatherly figures. I wasn't raised with a father figure. I was raised with superhero movies and films and stuff like that, where I had to separate the people from the movies and these rappers and these NBA athletes looking for role models. I had to separate those two things and take whatever they spoke to me, and I had to internalize it and make it work for me. And I feel like no young boys should be having to do that. That's why a lot of these young boys, these young black males, be just using lyrics from raps and stuff like that. And of course, it does some good, but at the same time, it's doing a lot of bad. Like it's poisoning the young black males, and it's just multiplying every day that passes. Like with me, I have a fear that like I said, it don't gotta be like no street stuff, like no street violence or nothing. It could just be like regular stuff. It could be the police. It could be, somebody acting dumb and running me over. It could be anything. It could literally be anything. I mean, it could be me getting robbed. It could be literally anything. Is that I believe that people that doesn't do good things, they get taken out, and not all the time, but a lot of people get taken out, and it's collateral damage, and like a lot of people suffer from that. Like a lot of good people that don't do anything wrong, to try to live a straight path and mind their business. There's always people that get harmed. I think that's one. Another reason why I think on like the baseline understanding of how the world works and how God works, how the universe works, I stopped believing in God in that sense. It's like, because people that don't, well, of course, on the surface, they don't deserve death, they receive it. Little kids get killed every day, and it's like, why do little kids get killed every day? And of course, spirituality, it's karma, could be past life karmas and not things of that nature. But just being on a human level, I get that. Like I said, I know I'm a spiritual person. I be talking about spiritual topics and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, like on a human level, like through the rational brain, that just don't make any sense. And I guess that's where my fear is in my rational brain, is that, of course, it's sad that I think that, like I said, if I was to die, I would have to die tragically, and I wouldn't like die of old age, even though that's what I want to do. Like I said, I want to live, and I think that's the messed up part of why I think that I want to live. I want to live a long life, filled with being content, and having a family, and just finding peace, and possibly one day, or even just, of course, I'm not trying to speak it up, but just possibly, just by luck or anything, I get taken out, and that's an irrational fear that I have, and it's just like, that's just what it is, like. But one thing I can say about death, that I think it's just like, it's like going to sleep in a way. It's like you in the void, and you don't have to worry about nothing else. And I think that's really what it is. It's like being in the void with me. It's like I don't have to worry about having to go against the grain and going against my program, and understanding, like, yeah, being raised without a father, I don't have to worry about becoming a man no more. I don't have to worry about getting up every day and helping everybody. I don't have to worry about extending myself to help people and trying to help people. I don't have to worry about a lot of my responsibilities anymore. I think that's more what like the, I forgot the word, but that's more like the pro of it. It's like you don't have to worry about nothing else no more. It's like you back. It's like, of course, like I said, if you believe in all that reincarnation and that type of stuff, of course you're gonna be back. But it's like you don't have to worry about it. Like me as Kevin don't have to worry about the fact that, oh, I left this person behind. It's like it's like ultimately like giving up. It's like an ending of suffering, but of course you have to come back. But it's just like you giving up trying to be something with your life, and it's like, it's sad to see. Of course, like I said, it's hard to deal with. It's hard to cope with it's hard to cope with the idea. Like, I think they even said on Spider-Man, it's like, don't matter like what you do for people, people always gonna end up hating you in the end. And I think that's of course, that depends on context, but I think that runs in my head a lot too. Is that unappreciative of people, but like I said, that's on the other end of the spectrum of not like living in the streets. It's like I have to wake up every day and fight the world. I have to fight the world on a mental level rather than on a mental, physical, and the spiritual level. I have to fight it in a mental and spiritual level with myself, and it's not really versus with myself and the world, and with the people that's in the streets that gotta deal with it on a mental, physical, spiritual, like all the plans. That's, I think it's like, it's really like the same coin. It's just two ends of one spectrum, and they have to face the same things. And of course they say, fear, doubt, and worry and guilt, all those type of things, just a fast killer. And like I said, you should never have those type of mindsets with just living your life. And I'm dealing with it, but I think that's just something. That's the moment of vulnerability for me I think that people need to understand and see, is that a lot of young black males want to live, but they don't know how to live, and they don't want to live because they don't know what to be and how to be a man and live a life live a hard life morally sound and morally right, and stay on the right path and not cause no harm to people. It's hard to do that when all you know is this negative way of living, and you have to go against all this programming and all this self-sabotage, and then all this negative self-talk that you have, and all this self-talk and just negativity, even the world just pumping to you. It's hard to do that. Like, you literally have to get away, and you have to find a way to get away. Of course, I have my ways, but of course, a lot of things just take time, and like I said, time therapy, and just the ability to really make the best of what you have. And like I said, it's not an easy thing, but also one thing I can't say is that I'm compassionate toward. I try to be compassionate toward, but I be compassionate to everybody that I can. It's, like I said, I get life. Everybody is like, it's crazy how like everybody in life has something they fighting against. There's never just one person that's just good and okay. And I think that's part of the problem with the world, is that everybody thinks that their problem is worse than somebody else's. And in reality, if you're gonna be honest, a lot of people's problems are worse than other people's. But I think that first, I think people need to understand that and have some sense of compassion, because a lot of people don't. And like I said, they want somebody to be compassionate towards them, but they don't have any compassion towards anybody else. But they expect some type of compassion. So I think that's how I live my life. I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt, because if I was in that same position, I would want somebody to be like, I would want somebody to give me the benefit of the doubt instead of judging me and just just dogging me out and just treating me terribly. I would want people to really consider me and my character and who I am and myself. And of course, I'm not perfect, but that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.